Today is January 22, 2015, and this is another video about the Anaheim megacity that is currently being built. And I have another newspaper article talking about this exact building you're looking at. It talks about the train station that I took pictures of and that I will be showing you. And it basically tells you how this thing is fully underway and how it's going to be very large in terms of density. So I'm going to show you some pictures. So these are the stadium lofts. We were told in the meetings in West Covina for the general plan that we will be living in loft-style apartments instead of living in single-family detached houses. So as I said, these are the stadium lofts. Here's a closer picture of it to show you that this is what it is, stadium lofts. And as I said, it's very interesting that they actually call it lofts and that they said lofts in the meeting. So obviously this is what's going on. Also in my city 2 nights ago, I was at City Council and there just happened to be a presentation to propose a 132 unit building in my city. The proposal did not pass. All those videos are on my channel. They're just in the last couple days. So here's another building, and it actually says in the paper, apartment buildings with 4 lease signs on them. Here's the train station. This is a high-speed rail train station, the high-speed rail that Jerry Brown is always celebrating. This is one of the train stations right here. It's fully complete. It's being used as a bus station, and no one is even in there, and as I'll show you in the pictures right here. So here's the inside of the bus station, totally empty, just this one guy. And I'm making a point of this because a man named Dr. Arthur Nelson is in my city right now, and he's going to speak at our city council tonight, not an actual council meeting, but inside the council chambers. And he is going to tell us how it is in demand to take this kind of transportation, to live near this transportation, and to live in the apartment structures that I showed you, like this one right here, the stadium lofts. And the reason why I know he's going to tell us all this is because I have one of his documents. It is an executive summary of a document he wrote, and it tells us this. So tonight, he's going to be there. I'm going to film him. I may or may not ask a question. So now I'm going to move on into this article. And actually, before I start the article, I just want to say all of this is Agenda 21. That's why I'm showing it to you. Agenda 21 is the inventory and control of all humans, all private property, all land, of everything. It is communism on steroids. The purpose of Agenda 21 is to have us all be in dense megacities. So the idea being is that everyone will live in loft-style apartments near transit, near high-speed rail, with access to buses, streetcars, trolleys, you name it. You will not have a car. This is what Agenda 21 is. And Anaheim is under Agenda 21. Currently in my city, we are fighting Agenda 21, and it is a very tough battle to fight. So I hope you spread these videos. I hope you come to the meetings. The meeting for the next Agenda 21 session in my city is this Monday. This coming Monday, January 26th at 4 o'clock in the afternoon in the City Council community room, which is at City Hall. It's right next to the City Council chambers. It's in West Covina at the City Hall this Monday, January 26th, 4 o'clock. The man with the beard, he's supposed to be there. I don't know if he will be, but he's supposed to be there. And so come to those meetings. I'll be there. So here's the article. It is from January 15, 2015, business section. The title is Developing a New Downtown for OC. Continues on the next page. And I'm going to read you this top part here first. I forgot to take a picture of it. It says, Anaheim Luxury Complex reflects momentum in building a regional core, an effort that stalled during the recession. So everything is going regional now. That's why if you go on the if you go on the America2050.org website and go on the left-hand side, it says mega regions. Everything is going regional. You will not live in rural areas. You will live in dense mega regions. Anaheim's Platinum Triangle neighborhood is finally showing signs of life following a downturn that mothballed the city's vision of a new downtown for Orange County. In the latest example of growing developer interest in the area, a Texas developer plans to break ground Thursday on a 400-unit apartment complex along Catella Avenue near Angel Stadium. The $119 million luxury project will rise on a 7.6 acre vacant lot that the developer JPI purchased last month. So I just showed you a building that has a leasing sign on the outside of it, and here they are building more of these things. So there's no interest in making sure that the buildings are filled up first before building new ones. That's why this is an agenda to have this type of structures everywhere. It feels like a great time to be breaking ground in the Platinum Triangle, said Gus Villalba, the Western Region Executive Vice President for JPI based in Irving, Texas. It is just now starting to pick up momentum. In all, city plans allow for nearly 20,000 residential units and about 19 million square feet of commercial and office space in the Platinum Triangle, an 820-acre swath surrounding Angel Stadium, the Honda Center, and the City National Grove of Anaheim. A streetcar has also been proposed that would connect the neighborhood with Disneyland and the Anaheim Garden Walk. So you see, because of climate change, you cannot drive a car anymore, and you have to live in these little apartment units stacked up by the tens of thousands, because even though it says 20,000 units, there will probably be 50,000 people living in this area, and you will streetcar around the area. You will not get to drive around on your own, and if you want to go somewhere quicker, you will have to take the Arctic high-speed rail train or the buses. This is the lifestyle they want you to live, and this is the lifestyle Dr. Arthur Nelson is going to tell us tonight that we want to live. Please make comments in this video telling him that you do not want to live this way. As of mid-December, there were 1,038 residential units under construction in the area, according to the city. So 1,000 more are already being built. And last month, Anaheim's new glistening $188 million transportation center and train station known as Arctic opened. That's what I showed you pictures of. That's what I showed you as being completely empty. I'll show it to you again. It's right here, the empty train station. They spent $188 million on this. Now, here's the problem I have with this. Trains are a 100-year-old technology. They are making no effort to develop new technology to replace the car, something that is better, quicker, more efficient. They're not doing that. They want you out of your car, and they want to make a 100-year-old technology a little better. This is about regressing into a dark age where you have no control of where you go. You have no private property rights. There is a reason why it says for lease and not for sale, because under Agenda 21, you will have no private property rights. JPI's upscale complex named Jefferson Platinum Triangle will include clubrooms, saltwater pools, gyms, and a rooftop deck where movies can be screened. Average rents for the studios and 1, 2, and 3 bedroom units are expected to range from $1,900 to $2,850, JPI's Villalba said. So, as I've been saying over and over again in previous videos, they are setting up these buildings where everything you need is right there so that you don't have to leave. And if you don't have to leave, that means they always know where you're at because they want to track everything you do. These will more than likely be smart apartments where everything is smart, with the refrigerators, with the low-flow shower heads and the low-flow toilets. If you want to know what it's like to live in one of these places, just go stay in a hotel right now. You'll know exactly what it's like. You'll take the crappiest shower you've ever taken. Your poops won't flush. So anyway, I also want to make a note that it's $2,000 a month. Now, let's think about this. You don't get to drive anywhere if you live in this area in the future. Now, what are the jobs that are in the area? Angel Stadium, the Honda Center, the Grove, and the Arctic train station, among other types of places that are like this. These are all jobs that are lower income, so the people that have to live in these buildings that work at these jobs that are nearby, that they will take the streetcar to, they won't even be able to afford them in the first place. That's why this model is going to fail. Residents are expected to be able to move in starting in October of 2016. Many will probably be young professionals who want to live near work. Probably. They don't even know if it's actually going to be this way. They are just making assumptions, just the way Dr. Arthur Nelson makes assumptions in his document that maybe this is what's going to happen. They don't even know this is why it's going to fail. This is totally flawed. In 2004, Anaheim rezoned the largely industrial Platinum Triangle to attract private development and create a new downtown for Orange County, but the recession dealt a serious blow. Well, thank God for the recession, because it stopped Agenda 21 plans, and what makes this worse is now we have to root for another depression-style recession with the stock market crash, because if that happens, maybe we'll stop Agenda 21 again. That's how sinister all this crap is. Large plots of land have sat empty for years. Projects switched from condominiums to apartments. And if you watched that video that I put up of the city council where they're discussing this apartment building they were going to build, their argument was because buildings had sat empty for years. This is their excuse for everything. They create a lousy business climate so that companies go out of business, then the buildings sit for years, then they got to rezone the area, bulldoze the buildings, and put up large apartments. Now, I want to comment on this young professionals thing here. I am 29 years old. I am a quote-unquote millennial. I want to drive a car. I do not want to take buses everywhere. I personally have lived in 3 different time zones in the United States of America. I have lived in 2 pedestrian cities, also known as walkable cities. Now, as a 20-year-old, it was a lot of fun to live in a walkable city. It's also very safe because when you go out to the bar and drink, you don't have to drive home and worry about DUI checkpoints. So it's very safe in that regard. But it gets old after a while, especially if you live in a place where it gets 10 below zero for several months out of the year. Not 10 below zero every night, but where it can get that cold, you don't want to be walking outside or walking anywhere for that matter. If you do have to go somewhere, you wish you had a car. This comes from personal experience. To all these young people, it's cold right now in Southern California. It's cold enough to where you don't want to go outside. So are you going to be wanting to walk everywhere or take buses everywhere? I don't think so. Secondly, I want to say that if you decide to have kids, your kids will want to play basketball in the backyard. They'll want to play football out on the lawn. They're not going to be able to do that if they live in these buildings. So what I'm getting at is it is beneficial when you are a young person to live in a walkable city. I personally have done it in 2 different cities in America, and I enjoyed it, but it got old. I'm only 29 now, and I do not want to ever live in a walkable city ever again, especially one where I never have to leave, where I take streetcars and high-speed rail everywhere I go. So here's the last part of this. On Monday, 4 lease signs dotted windows of retail space at one early project, Stadium Lofts. So these places are empty right now. They're building more of them. They're assuming young people are going to want to live in these places. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what Agenda 21 looks like in real life. So if you are driving around and this is what you see, take pictures. Make videos about it. Expose it. This is what they mean by sustainable communities. I do not want to live in a sustainable community where I go into empty bus stops and empty train stations and live in apartments like this. So that's all for now. Grindall61 signing out.